Okay, the story comes from Jamie Klein of Sports Car 365. So apparently, GT500 fuel supplier is set to change amid ETS doubts. So ETS, that's the fuel supplier for the GT500 class and Super GT. They also supply the fuel for Super Well, no, they don't. I don't think they supply it for Super Formula. But let's just go ahead and read it out. Story's titled "GTA's deal with Halterman Careless set to be cut short amid expected switch to domestically produced ethanol blend. Super GT looks set to cut short its fuel supply deal with ETS Racing Fuels brand and switch to an alternative supplier for the upcoming season. The Japanese series has been using carbon-neutral fuel products supplied by German firm Halterman Careless and its ETS brand since 2023 in both classes as part of its commitment towards reducing its environmental footprint. Okay. However, multiple team sources have indicated to Sports Car 365 that GT500 manufacturers are preparing to go into the new season using a new domestically produced 10% ethanol fuel blend produced by ENEOS and raBit. This is the same product that will be utilized in Japan's Super Formula Series. Now it says will be, so I'm not sure if they've already done it or they did it last year or they're going to do that in the future. I'm not really too sure. Yeah, but it says the current generation of 2-liter turbocharged engines that power the GT500 cars are based on the same framework as the so-called Nippon Racing engine, also used by Honda and Toyota in the single-seater championship. That's Super Formula 1. Super Formula Series. So Super GT's, let's see. Super GT switch in fuel comes at the same time manufacturers are preparing to go into a new campaign, only able to use one engine per season, and follows engine problems last year that forced some teams into using as many as 3 engines. Let's see. In the GT300 class, which switched to an ETS Racing Fuel supplied 50% carbon neutral blend in 2024, premium unleaded is expected to be used. So wait, so you're telling me in GT300 they're using premium unleaded? So like that's just like the regular, I'm pretty sure it's not just regular gas you're getting from, 7-Eleven. I know it says premium unleaded, but there has to be something added to that fuel. I would think, it'd be a little bit more cleaner, burn a little bit more spark, So it says a GTA spokesperson told Sports Car 365 has nothing to announce at this stage when contacted regarding the matter, but clarified that the championship's contract with Halterman Careless is valid through the end of 2026 season. So by the end of 2026, you won't see ETS anymore. So they'll be using it this season, but they won't use it going further. The championship, however, has previously made clear its desire to switch to a domestic low-carbon fuel supplier as soon as possible to save on freight costs. Meanwhile, a spokesperson for ETS Racing Fuel was eager to highlight the fact that the firm has met all obligation in its agreements with the GTA amid industry challenges. ETS was always making sure fuel was available on track right on time, despite a force majeure from one of our sustainable component suppliers, commonly used in the industry, having huge difficulties to supply this material to the industry for almost 1 full year, said the spokesperson. Despite these difficulties, ETS took its responsibilities and made all things possible, including very expensive air freight shipment to ensure fuel was delivered on time to each track in Japan. So it looks like even though ETS was going through a lot of problems actually getting the fuel to the track in regards to freight and other challenges, they managed to get there on time and they fulfilled all their duties. So that's good that they're saving their brand when they would reached out to for comment. Super GT manufacturer testing begins this week at Sepang in Malaysia, with 7 GT500 cars set to participate, but there are no rules regarding fuel supply outside of official tests, meaning teams are free to use any fuel they wish. Official testing begins at Okayama on March 6th through the 7th, ahead of the season opener at the same venue on April 11th through the 12th. Yes, I did see that the cars were actually at Malaysia. We'll talk about that in another video, but we might skip the Sepang one And we might just wait for the official testing that begins on March 6th through the 7th at Okayama. Outside of that, stay tuned to Keto Auto for all your Super GT news on this side of the globe. Until next time, check you later.